Hello. Thank you for joining me today. I go by Lunini, and this is super awkward for me because I can see my living room. It's daylight. What is going on? What kind of upside down, bizarro world is this? Why is there all this space behind me? Why is this bobo still stuck in my teeth? Right? But I'm here today recording on my phone, so we'll have to just do with the mic here. I like a little of that though, a little throwback. And I wanted to do a card reading moving through the zodiac signs, but more specifically, a card reading moving through the zodiac signs for your Venus. Where's your Venus? Venus has moved into Gemini, and I happen to be a Venus in Gemini. So maybe that's the inspo. But I've been doing more research into my own personal chart because you will literally never touch bottom there. You will never, ever, even in your own, only your chart, be able to reflect on every single freaking thing that's in there, because there are different ways to run it. There's different systems, you know, so I like to take it a little bit at a time and just go with what I feel inspired to. I feel like things within our chart come up for us at the right time, when we're ready to understand them, when we're ready to work with them, or when they will serve us most. Something like that. So I've been reflecting on Venus and Gemini because, hey, Venus and Gemini are like the most feared, hated even. Run away, you know, run away from Venus and Gemini, which makes no sense to me. I've, since talking about this, have found some other Venus and Geminis, and I'm like, really? Like, you are the sweetest person in the world. And loyal and staying with stuff, you know, like committed. So the thing with the Gemini and Venus is that, like, we need to be stimulated. We need to be mentally, cerebrally entertained, learning. You know, it's not just like entertainment, like mindless. It's like deep depths of stuff, and how fascinating people can be. So anyway, not enough about me or that in general, but I wanted to pull some cards to reflect your Venus sign. So if you don't know it right now, take a pause, go over to something like astro.com. You don't need your birth time specifically to find your Venus sign. You do need your birth time specifically to find, let's say, your ascendant, perhaps even your moon. But a lot of your chart will remain fine, you know, even if you don't have your birth time. You can run it from a sunrise approach, because there are some slow-moving planets and there are fast-moving planets. And the slow-moving ones, like Venus, it's a safe bet. Okay, so find your Venus sign, come back, and we'll talk. Now, Venus is all about arts, beauty, money, fun. I always say it reminds me of like a Friday night date. And I don't mean like, are we getting sushi? No offense, like I love sushi. But I mean, I don't mean a routine like, oh, every Friday we go to the movies. I mean like an after, you know, coming home from work, let's say, and showering, beautifying, making yourself smell good, brushing your teeth, maybe doing a mask, doing your hair, like you're going out, you know, like that kind of thing. Making sure you're good, putting on some music, the smells and all of that. And then going out and meeting with someone or some people even, and going to an art show, going to a music venue, collecting your fucking paycheck, you know, like romance, maybe having a drink if you're, you know, if you're of that, in that mode. Not that that's required at all, but even like a mocktail or treating yourself, a little fine dining, like senses, relaxation. It's Friday night, you know? So that's what Venus makes me think of always. Sorry for this super long intro already. I just wanted to talk about Venus and shuffle. So this can be our relationships for sure, but it's like, what do you need to love? And that's what your Venus sign will tell you. Like, how are you in love, or what are you attracted to? There's a YouTuber I've been following, Lil Finesse, or no, Astro Finesse. He has a whole series on the Venus signs. They're great. He's a great, he's very knowledgeable. Go and check him out if you want to know more in depth specifically about your Venus sign. But this is more intuitive. This is a card reading, moving through the zodiac signs as per your Venus. Okay, said it enough. Let's go. Excuse me, it's not the Rona, I'm okay. So, ooh, it just feels good to shuffle. Pardon for the noise. Okay, so we have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Damn, I'm getting good at that. Okay. We're also going to pull some clarifying cards, and I think I forgot my deck. Okay, now we have these clarifying cards, the Fuzzy Prism Oracle deck from Holly Simple. Ah, I freaking met Holly IRL for our retreat. It was awesome, and she gave everyone this card deck. I love it. She's so cool. And she's a Cap 82, and I'm a Cancer 82, and I just feel this bond with her. But anyway, we're gonna pull one each now for this. Let's just set it up so I don't have to do all this later, right? Let me shut this window. Okay. And then we're gonna layer it with another round of tarot, because I want to see like the separation. I want to look at it from two perspectives. Excuse me, coffee. There we go. Mwah. Okay, now just before we get started, think about that date night I just talked about, and like the elements of the date night. You know, who's accompanying you? What are you listening to? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What are you excited about? Are you moving around? Are you cozy? Like, is it a little more, in general, I guess what I'm trying to say is, whether it's your paycheck we talked about, or the arts, or creativity, or passions, or relaxation and enjoyment, or the partner that you're experiencing this with, or the close connections that you're experiencing this with, think about that for you and what you want to hear about through this, because it might speak to you in a different way than the words I choose, you know, because this is collective. All right, so Aries and Gemini, Ace of Wands. So we're going to do this in an order. This message is saying, for me, that you like to be in control, what Aries doesn't, but that it can kind of backfire, right? Like, for whatever reason, sometimes even telling someone what to do, or being the lead creative on a project or something like that, it's almost like it loses its spark it's fuel, it's ignition, it's magic when you have to ask for it, or when you have to like try to put it into words and allow someone else to create this for you. So there's this struggle essentially with what you desire and what other people are just able to do based on their interpretation of what they hear, and then it bouncing off the walls in their own brain, and then them trying to come through with it. So how funny. The message is teach. You have to find a way to teach what you want so that you get what you want. All right. This obviously is feeling a bit romantic for me, intimate in general. We do have to teach people what we want, what we like, right? We have to learn that for ourselves and teach it to other people if that's our thing, right? Pardon me. But essentially, this is kind of calling that up, right? Teach. We have to let people know. And we have as well the Hierophant in reverse. So what this is telling me is that you may have had your ideals, right? You may have kind of put up these limitations on yourself in some way. Like, yeah, maybe you have an appetite, or maybe, it's something you really want. It's not like that kind of thing. But in general, because you've had to almost pull back and refrain from sharing in a sense, because it's like, oh, if I have to ask you to do it, I might as well do it myself, like that kind of thing. It's just asking you to like wear your teacher cap, of course, right? But this is saying too that the Hierophant in the verse is saying that even your old systems, you don't know them right now. Like maybe you don't even know what you like. Maybe you've been questioning what you find enjoyable in any sense, what you find romantic, what you find, in terms of art. Maybe your style is changing. So the message overall is that this is a great opportunity to have a fresh start and learn about yourself and teach that and express that and share that information with those closest to you who you want to participate and who want to participate in your life in those ways. And know that like it's okay, fresh start. Look at it like a fresh start. Whatever romance, creativity, whatever it is, especially involving other people, it's a fresh start for you right now. So it's the perfect opportunity to be able to tell people, those closest to you that you again want to engage with this with, what it is, what the new thing is. Oh, I used to think this was great, but I guess my taste has changed and now I really love this. Or yeah, I used to love going there, but actually I decided to be vegan, so I want to do this more. Or well, I really love going out and supporting this type of, I don't know, venue or music or whatever, and I've even found more things and like bigger ways to do it. So it's just like a message, I guess, that it's a great opportunity to see that those changes have happened within you, share that, and be okay with the fact that like it's new all around. So it's not like, oh, if I have to tell one more person, like loses its fizzle. Like Aries is like rocket like energy, and it's almost like as soon as we start talking about it, it's like it fizzles out, like loses it. So that's your message, Aries. Now Taurus, in Venus and Taurus, we have the Queen of Cups. So there's like a forlorn energy here. This kind of reflection on like, what have I been holding on to? Like, why am I holding on to this for so long? Do I even need this? Should I sell it? Should I pass it on? My friend always liked this. Maybe I should give this to my friend or something. Should I let it go? And this contemplation. I love this art. And the oracle card we have is Serenity. And the tears, right? The tears, like, it doesn't even seem enjoyable even in this image. Like, the word is there for sure, but like in conjunction with that Queen of Cups reverse, it's almost like, no, I don't want to let it go. I'll keep it this way. So we'll see what our third card is. The Hanged Man reverse. It's time to change your perspective. It's time, Taurus and Gemini. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. Venus and Gemini. Oh my God, I can't talk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Venus and Taurus, but it's time. You've been holding on to something anyway, like a project or a love or a crush or something, or a style, an aesthetic, a kink. Like, I don't know. You've been holding on to something that you feel it's not bringing you the same satisfaction anymore. It's not allowing you to experience yourself like in new ways anymore, right? So give it another go. Like, have one more round or whatever it is, you know. Enjoy it, watch the movie again, read the book again, like that kind of thing. But just know it's time to change your perspective, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing for all of us. It's coming, you know. Get grounded, reflect on who you are and what this means for you in your life. Do some journaling. Find the beauty of it, find the enjoyment and the satisfaction, the reflection of like, wow, that really served me. But now it's time to move on, and I'm okay with that too. All right, yours was a little easier. All right, so now gems. Gem in Venus. Venus in gem. Why is this so hard for me? Okay, so we have the King of Cups reversed, which tells me perhaps similar to Aries, you have to give up some of the emotional control. No, let me rephrase that. That didn't come out right. There's a desire to maintain your emotions. There's a desire to be uncontrolled, you know? Like, no one can control you because no one can affect you on an emotional level. Necessarily. You know, it's not like you don't feel emotions, but there's also this like, well, I'm ready to move on anyway, you know, or like, okay, fine, like I'm okay, let's go. So it's just saying that you're not really letting yourself get to fully experience what that kind of like emotional support or that emotional connection could be. And like, this might be creative, this might be more in lines of like how you make money. Like, so don't like read into this just as like relationship stuff. Of course, obviously, if you're married and like you're like, what do you mean? But you know, it could be how you make money. But there's something that you're not allowing yourself to feel as much as you could when it comes to whatever that Venus Friday night kind of scenario that we had, just that we talked about is. You're reserving it in some sense, like you don't want to be attached to it, or you don't want to take ownership for it, maybe. All right, and this makes me think it is your work in some way. Service, love, this balance, this like helping hand kind of situation, giving and receiving. When we allow our emotions to come into our work, it sounds very scary, or our creative projects or whatever, right? It could be love for some of you, your fashion, like all of it. But even just getting ready, right? Like the getting ready for the Friday night out I talked about. If you're just kind of like going through the motions, like cool, you know, but if you're like, oh, like I'm going out, like yes, like this is my song, like where's my new chapstick, like where's my this, like I want to try my hair like this, oh, like if you're letting yourself become more emotionally fulfilled through it, or like connected, you're going to see that there's this giving and receiving that comes through and allows you to move things in bigger ways. Now, of course, with every major upswing, or with every like super excited kind of experience, there's always the come down, there's always the like the ebb, right? It has to happen. So be mindful when you play like that. Don't like rock it off too quickly necessarily. Or like, wow, let's get wild, let me throw my emotions everywhere. I don't think that you would do that anyway, but but it's time, you know, keep temperance there. Make sure that you're not like going, when you do that, if you're able to do that, if you're able to involve your emotions more in all of these things, be aware that, you know, you are going to receive more. You're going to create more of this pull for like magnetism for things and experiences and all that. But keep it tempered, you know, watch your wobble, you know, like don't, if you feel too buzzy over it, back it up, you know, like relax, do some channeling work maybe, or like send some like love or intentions to someone else or something, and just kind of keep the energy flowing. So remember that. Okay, now we are at Cancer in Venus. Venus in Cancer. I can't say it. Okay. Ooh, okay, Cancer. Knight of Wands. Have to steal Angela Mary Magic's phrase, but she's like, knights are babes. So this could be a new love. This could be just excitement. This could be seeing your partner, if you're already partnered, in a new way. This is like a breath of, not even fresh air, like a breath of fire kind of coming through. Very nice, Cancer. Okay, progress. This tells me that perhaps it is something you were obviously like already creating or already created or already partnered with or already thinking about, but there's some kind of ignition coming on this like thing, and it's leading more and feeding more into the progress of something that you've been working on or that you've been open to or that you've been chewing on or that you've been like, yeah, I'll deal with it when it's ready, and like it's ready now. So let's see our last card. And we have the 9 of Cups reversed. Remember that, of course, like the 9 of Cups is a great card. It's about like, I have it all. I have it all. I got it. Like, yeah, look at all my trophies. Yeah, look, I got it. Remember that you want to be not completely overzealous and not even overzealous. What's the word? You don't want to collect just to collect. You don't want to have this progress just to have this progress. You don't want to like get a new fling just to have a new fling, maybe. I don't know, right? Like my examples aren't great here. So remember that like this should be fulfilling you. This should be the ignition, this thing, this person, this like creative force or energy, this development. Remember though that it's not just about collecting, it is about like drinking from the cups and having the experience and sharing them and having your friends over for a party and sharing that. So that's kind of your guidance, is just to keep that in mind as this comes in for you. Or maybe it's already here, but let me know. Okay, Venus and Leo. All right, so in terms of creativity, money, romance, something in those realms, beauty, you know, yourself, your beautiful self, Leo. There's some confusion. There's some, there's a lot of different things that could happen here. So it feels like you're confused or doubtful in some way, or not 100% confident in maybe even doing that thing where you're like, but what is the right path? You know, and the key is that they're all the right path. They are. Like, I know not all these cups have something amazing in them necessarily. Like, I mean, I think they're all pretty good. But in general, like, it's all going to teach you something. It's all going to be, you're always where you're meant to be kind of thing. So just listen to your gut, right? And do it and go and embark. I love this. Kind of pointing to this portal or something in the sky. Like, take the journey. Do it. Just commit to something. Don't be dilly-dallying too much here. All right, and the Page of Swords. So again, this is like, it's calling. So okay, make a choice, choose something, tune into yourself, place your hands on your heart, ask for your inner guidance, but trust, of course, that whatever you choose is what's right for you. So we don't want to do this doubt. We don't want to be like, oh, a month from now, oh, but what would have happened if I chose this way? Or what if I did? Like, stop. You're a grown up. You can always change your mind. You can always, you know, figure something out. You don't have to sign any legal contracts necessarily, perhaps, right? Maybe you do, but in general. But this is going to ask you to really give it a chance to see things a different way. It's almost like the message here is just simply like, don't look back. Like, see how they're facing even. Don't question what was on the other side, or if you could backpedal, what would happen. Just a reminder, like, you're a grown-up. You do have a sword. You do have your words. You do have your authority. Nothing can make you do anything you don't want to do. Like, nothing can make you. You know what I mean? So I guess it's just asking for your commitment and your ability to show up for yourself and trust and not doubt, you know, not doubt what's right, because truly it is all right. Okay, I'm sorry if some of them are a little shorter than others and some are longer. I can't help that. Some of them are easy peasy and some of them like need explanation. Okay, so where are we? Virgo. Ace of Swords reversed. So again, similar to Aries, you're doing it all, like all that effort, all the thoughts, all the knowing of how you want it to look and how you want it to taste and how you want it to smell and how all of that is just causing like anyway for you pressure on yourself. It's like it's still all your responsibility when you're doing it that way. And like, yes, these are things we have to identify truly, but it's also things that we need to let up on too, because when we're working with things, unless this is a project just for you and it is only has to do with you and there's no outside influence or need regard at all, which usually isn't the case, like usually there's always something going on, right? But unless that's the case, all that thought, all that awareness, all that meticulous kind of understanding of what's right for you is only kind of, again, putting this pressure on you. It's still the weight that you are bearing. It's still like yours. So, a little tricky for Virgos, right? Or for Venus and Virgo. Risk, choose, feel, connect. What feels right? Take a risk perhaps on letting someone in or giving someone a little responsibility or just stopping of trying to control it all. And I don't feel like we should go against the grain, you know, and it's nice that Virgo likes to, Virgo energy in general likes to control and like lay things out and like the precision and the just like, it's so nice. Like, I really love it. It's like, I'm into it. But in general, it can also be nice to have a little looseness there, a little like, ooh, it's a surprise, you know, like a little surprise energy. And then we have the Sun reversed. So this is saying that this might go back to some need for like childhood healing, inner child healing in general, something along those lines. Like, why is it so hard? So why is it so hard to have fun? Or why is it not have fun? That's ridiculous. But like, why is it so hard to like enjoy the surprise? Like, what is it? It might be asking something of you for your inner child work in general to like loosen up a little bit, like undo that little button, you know, and like loosen up and stop containing all of it. Like, stop with the mental weight that you're carrying. You know, like we all have our chores and we all have our things. The thought is also part of it. Like I have to be responsible for all of this is also part of it. So you don't want that to be like piercing you, you know? So inner child work and make it playful. Have some fun. Roll the dice a little bit. Okay, so now we're in Libra. All right, Libra. We've got the Death card, which says that you're aware that there's a door that has closed and a door that is opening. It's really very, very simple when we work with that. I mean, it's usually not simple, but like if we look at it from a cut and dry perspective. And the card we got is breathe. All right. So this could be, again, right, your love life, your creativity, your projects. Something has run its course and something new is coming. So let's take a moment, breathe, relax, meditate, have a bath. Libra, Libra is like a Venus sign already, like so is Taurus, right? So Venus is comfortable in those signs for sure. But it's time to relax. It's time to chill, okay? And then we have the Justice card. Is this another Libra card? Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure though. So this door that was closing and the breath work, literally like the breath work that you do when you chill, when you focus on closing the door, taking in what's new, or closing the door, unlocking the new door, it's bringing you into your full power. It's bringing you into your true nature in the realm of Venus in general anyway. You're going to feel boss. You're going to feel real boss after all this. Okay? So just breathe. Just take a moment. Breathe. Breathe deliberately. Breathe consciously. One of my favorite books of breath work. I'll have to leave it below because I don't remember the name, but it's a great, like, I think it's just called The Science of Breath or something like that. A bit specific, but definitely it's a good one if breath specifically comes up for you. Okay, so now we're in Scorpio, correct? So Scorpio has the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So this is about like feeling like you lost something, feeling like you lost some kind of stability or funding. That can certainly be it, whether it was your hobbies, whether you're now stuck inside. You're feeling it. Like Venus in Scorpio, you're feeling it right now. This kind of taking away, like even if you have the money that you need, or even if you have to, like, there's something about just the fact that like Earth is under construction right now, it could be, or you're not like getting the same connections that you feel like you need to, or there's like a stress on the physical right now, it feels like, for Venus and Scorpio. A physical stress, a physical, like, you know, like when you pay all your bills and like you look back at your bank account and you're like, oh, you know, like that kind of, like just kind of like a sink. And it doesn't have to be like money, right? But it could be creative energy. It could be your connection to your own body or passion in general. It can be, you might have all this passion and creative energy, but you can't go do it the way you need to do it because you're in quarantine, you know, like we're all locked down and stuff. So again, right, it's like very physical. And our card, our oracle card, is action. And this literally looks like jumping. Honestly, this looks like me dancing around my bed, my house. So I'd say move. I'd say, you know, the 4 markings here have a very elemental thing for me. So movement, doing something different, maybe filming, doing some recording, making some memes, doing something funny, but like keeping yourself busy is gonna help. Hey, and if dancing around your house with some nice tunes on helps, like go for that as well. Ooh, hey Scorpio and Venus. Lovers. All right. You are still so connected, of course, to all the things. All the things you feel like you're not connected to, of course you're still connected to them. You know? And a little movement, a little sweat, a little like rearranging, a little feng shui is going to help you really connect with your personal energies, feel more whole, feel more aligned, feel more prepared, feel more like magical too as well, like woo, like divine. You might even want to do some kind of like candle ritual where, and then like put on some music and dance and sweat and raise energy through your action, through your movement, and charge your candle and like set off this thing for yourself. All right, so Scorpio, Sag. Oops, wrong card. I peeked. All right, Sag. So interesting. Venus, Sag. Ace of Cups. So you're doing really well. You're doing like, as far as your love or your connection to your own passion, or, you know, you perceiving, you being sensitive, you feeling supported in a sense, or just that like connected, it seems like, you know, this straight up says you feel, you're seeing it, you're feeling it. But this is also representative of like a fresh start as well. So you might just feel like a very fresh start right now. Full cup, you know, ready to go. You've got this card of energy. So it says, again, like fresh start. You're good. You feel full. You feel, maybe you're getting the rest that you needed forced on you. Maybe you're planning other trips. Maybe you're, I don't know, like something has happened. It could be just like astrological shit I don't even know about. But right now your energy is good. You're feeling full. You feel ready. You're charged up. You're like me when I got back from Costa Rica, like, okay, like let's go. I've been eating great. I've been sweating. I've been getting the sun. Like I'm good. And then we have the star. So it's very like Aquarian energy of like perfection and a fresh start as well, and like, or like a new way rather. So good for you guys. Like you're doing great. I hope you're doing great. But it's like everything here says that your energy is well, you're full, you're balanced, and you're kind of ready for like the new thing for you, for us. This could be relationships, this could be new projects, this could be ways of doing things. Feels technology, so Aquarian, right? But all right, Sag. Now Capricorn. Ace of Pentacles, of course, fucking Capricorn. Venus is working still. You are probably feeling very rooted in your whatever it is, your work or your relationship. And I don't mean to say that it's perfect, and I don't mean to say like, oh yeah, like I'm so committed, this is so easy. But there's something about Venus Cap, especially with like the ace here, I guess the connection. Sorry, my squeaky elbows. But you feel full, you feel like you, I want to say rely. I feel like you know what you have. That's the best way I could say it. You know what you have. You know the bad stuff, you know the good stuff. You know what it is. You know you've been able to carry it. You know, good or bad, or you know, pros and cons. You're okay. Because you get it. All right? But this Ace of Pentacles as well is saying that there's something else. There is something else. And if you took a risk, if you just focused on what the frick that was, what does that look like for you in a way that is like tangible, like I want to live by the beach, like something more specific than I just want everyone to be happy, you know, like we need more details, right? What is it, you know? Is it living by the beach? Is it I want to, you know, travel and do this, like whatever it is, or in your partnerships, like what do you want, you know? Because yeah, there's something to be said for that stability, you know, no matter what it is, it's a stability of sorts. But this is saying that like there's a whole new round that you could do. There's a whole new token. There's a whole new, you know, path, right? Like you can do that. You don't have to stay in something that doesn't work for you, right? So here, focus. I really feel like this is asking you to go within and identify what that is. Identify it more precisely, with more detail. Really build it. Don't worry if you can't do it all in one night, you know, or all in one journal entry. Do a little bit at a time. Focus first on how you want to feel. Focus first on how you picture it to be. Focus on what in your experience will allow other elements of you to come forward. Like work on it like a project. Like start with you, build the world around you, build this stuff. Do you want to live in an apartment buildings? Do you want to you know, go to this like fancy vocational school for something because you're really like whatever it is, like start to like define it more. All right, 4 of Wands. I love this. So this could be a sign that there does need to be a change in your relationships of sorts, right? Like because it's reversed. It's almost like you got a grant. Here's your grant. Are you going to stay in this, or are you going to do something else? You need to focus on what it is you want so you can. It's almost like making, like when you have a business and you have to itemize things and like make a budget for something, you know, like make the budget, right? Like define like what it is. Well, I need to hire this person. I need to do that. I need to do that. I want to go here. Like that kind of stuff, but like more so for your life. And not so much the budget, but just like the itemized list, you know? And right now, it feels like this is wobbly. It feels upside down, obviously, right? And you can see it's like marriage, unity, the joining of households. It's a beautiful card. And for me, it does mean that like this is the potential. This is the happiness, right? But if you are in some kind of commitment, it might need an adjustment of some kind. And if you're in a commitment, you're like, oh my God, yeah, that's like, let me cash in that token. It's so that it will come around to this, you know, whether this is your job or how you make money or your creative energy or whatever, beauty, art, relationships, something's not quite right as it sits. But as you either let it go or as you work on it, it'll turn around. Okay? So focus on what it is, yo. Venus Cap, and now we're on to Aquarius Venus. Okay. So we have the Knight of Cups. I'm trying to feel if this feels like someone's showing up for you, like, and can you receive that? It's like someone is like, oh my God, like you make me feel this way, you know, or something like that. And it's like, yeah, okay. Or you have this like, you know, I don't want to say repressed emotion. It's just not a very, Venus in Aquarius is just not a super like emotional kind of placement, you know? So I think let's just use this as the self. It's probably the easiest way to talk about it. But you have, of course you're emotional. Of course you're connected to that, you know? And of course you want to feel fulfilled. And of course you want to feel adored and, you know, all of that stuff. Do you like feeling sad? Probably not. Do you like longing for things? Maybe not, you know, depending on your other placements and stuff. So it's just kind of like letting you know that there is this like undercurrent of emotion and like romantic music and like butterflies and shit that, I don't know, it just seems like disconnected from a little bit. And we got time. And we got the High Priestess. Okay. So, I almost want to say that maybe those butterflies or whatever it is that I'm trying to describe in terms of like the emotional thing, the excitement, the eagerness about creative projects, about anything, right? Like about like love and all that crap. I don't even feel like it's like your vulnerability. I feel like you just like, you don't really tap into that, right? So the time is kind of throwing me off here. Maybe it'll make more sense to you, but maybe you have to give other people more time, or maybe you need to take the time to explain your feelings or find ways that you express your creative energy or your love language or whatever that is, so that you can bring it out in ways that aren't necessarily going against your nature, but that also show the people who are like engaging with you the other side to you, like the more the love languagey sign, you know. Sorry, my words aren't coming out great here. And then here it's like ultimate power, balance, like almost androgyny a little bit, right? With like the high priestess. Lazy, get out of my head. The High Priestess. It's mysterious, right? Aquarian energy is definitely freaking mysterious. So it just feels like you have to it's just about honoring yourself, but also remembering that like we do have to fit in a little bit. Like we have to be able to like explain ourselves. If I'm selling something, I have to make sure that people know I'm selling something and how much it costs and where they can pay for it. You know, like you have, like there are certain things we need to be able to communicate. And while this says time, I think it's more so taking the time to learn how to do that, to explain things to people, or just in general taking the time to understand, like, all right, well, if I'm not ooey gooey emotionally that person, but you know, my partner really wants that, or you know, I don't know, like stuff, like you want to show that like it's there, but it's not gonna, simply not gonna manifest in the same ways that other people's do, right? I mean, hello Aquarius, like freaking aliens and stuff. Stay in your power, like it's okay, you know, but just like learn how to communicate that, the linearness, like the, like I need a definition here, like I have to use words to express myself, help me out, you know, like that kind of thing. And finally, Venus and Pisces peeps. All right. Ooh, are you doing some reflection on like your past relationships, or what didn't work out before, or even like, ooh, my ex, what are they up to? You know, like you lurking, stalking a little? Not stalking, not true stalking, but like lurking, like checking in, like, you got a burner account? Are you on a burner account? You know, like it's like kind of looking back, like, ooh, what was back there? But ooh, okay, you know, like, so that's where it feels like you're at. Of course, Pisces gets dream. This might be happening. You might be reflecting. You might be like, oh yeah, what are they up to? You might be doing that because someone's been in your dreams, or you've been having dreams that are like kind of cluing you into stuff. But remember, the dreams aren't always about like, oh, I need to get back together with them, or even check in on them. It could just be letting you know, like, it's still working out, it's healing. Like, I had such a crush on this person before, like years ago, and they would still be in my dreams like once in a while, you know? And the last dream that I had about them, it was like me meeting their new partner. And like I could tell that that was like the way my brain let me know I was healing that. So a lot of times these dreams come up, they could be intense, they could be like very like intimate and stuff, of course. They could be fighting, they could be sad, they can be crushing, like all of this stuff. But this is all just your brain processing while you're sleeping, and you're just catching little glimpses of it. So let that be, you know, and focus on what you really have and what the potential you have is. Not these like, oh, it could have worked out, or oh, always, you know, we're kind of copying ourselves out when we do stuff like that. I have a problem with this myself. I'm, you know, like I said, I'm not a Pisces Venus here, but I have a problem like getting crushes on people who are like, just like, I'll never talk to them. Like, it's just like, it would never work out. And the reason I even probably get crushes on them is because I'm self-sabotaging it, you know? It's like, it's safe for me to have a crush on this person because it will never happen. So it's kind of saying like, stop that, like get out of that. If it is dream stuff that you've been like kind of like playing into like all of this for you, that's okay. It's your brain system defragmenting and all that stuff, clearing out the cache and all this stuff. It's great, wonderful, go brain. But it's just asking you to focus on like what you truly have, like what's in front of you, what are the materials you have, who are the people in your life, the real, like let's wake up, get into reality a little bit here, and focus on the potential of what can truly be cultivated here, and not like what could have been, or what are they doing, are they thinking of me, or you know, I really feel like that kind of stuff. And if it's not romance and I'm just playing that up too much, again, like how you make your money. Are you dreaming of new ways to make money? Are you dreaming you have $1 million, you wake up, you're sad, like that kind of thing, you know? Focus on here, because you have a lot you can work with. You have that lucky 7 going on. Like, it's nice. It's this unification of like spirituality and the physical here. So it's great. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you have been keeping safe and staying in and wearing your masks, washing your hands and all that stuff. I wanted to share, and I'll probably share this in a different video as well, but I haven't been promoting this at all very well. But basically, I started a zine in January, and this is only the February one here because I got it very late. The March ones will be here very soon. But essentially, each month I'm doing this like little zine, which is basically like a draft I'm sure there's typos. It needs to be professionally edited and gone through and stuff. But a draft, how many times did I say that? A draft like chapter, essentially, that when I'm done with it, I'm going to compile all 12 from the year and make something out of that. I don't know exactly yet, but it's called Project Dusk. And this is like the highest tier that I have on Patreon. It sounds like a lot. I totally get it. These are rough times. I'm not trying to be salesy. I just don't talk about this enough. So, yeah, this is an option. And when I buy these, I do have usually a few extras that I put on my website. I haven't listed these yet, but I might do that before I actually get this video up and running and viewable for everybody. So I hope that this has served you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share a little piece of your path today. I hope that you gain some perspective from your Venus. I hope, you know, again, that this like gave you something to chew on, maybe a little different instead of just the traditional sun sign stuff. And, you know, I hope that whatever your Friday night looks like, I don't think any of us are going out, but I hope it's still just as fun, just as beautiful, and just as inspiring and fulfilling and all of that as every Friday should be. All right. I send you so much love and appreciation. Thank you, Patreons, especially. Like, thank you in Patreon. Thank you those who I'm getting to work with, I have worked with. Everyone who just, you know, comments and links and all this. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for the support of this channel. All right. From the very bottom of my heart, I bow to the divine in you and me, to the magic that we share. All right. Namaste.